Dear friends, while the synoptic writers focus on the outward life of Jesus, John the Evangelist tries to capture the inner dimension of Jesus. Synoptic writers just point out that Jesus went up to mountain to pray. John, the beloved disciple, goes one step ahead and tries to present what happened during the time of prayer. It was a time of intense and intimate union between the Father and the Son. That is why in the fourth Gospel we see Jesus now and then talking about his intimate relationship with the Father. In today's Gospel we see Jesus equating himself with the Father. The words such as, "If you know me, you will know my Father also. From now on you do know him and have seen him. And whoever has seen me has seen the Father," point out that not only Jesus had a very intimate relationship with the Father, but also he is not much different from the Father. In other words, he identified himself with the Father and claimed to be God himself. When we reflect further, we understand that Jesus not only claimed to be God, but also he behaved so. He unequivocally proclaimed his title to qualities that are properly divine. To him judgment belongs, John 5:22. He has the power to forgive sins, Mark 2:5. He has the authority over the law ordained by God himself, Luke 6:5. He transcends time, John 8:58. Again, there is the identification which recurs with impressive frequency in John's Gospel when Jesus applies to himself the divine name that was revealed on Mount Horeb, that is, I am. For example, I am the way, I am the light. So it was this identical relationship with the Father that enabled Jesus to do all kinds of miracles, that enabled him to preach with power, that enabled him to save the world. Dear friends, when we believe in God like Jesus, when we try to build up an intimate relationship with the Father like Jesus, we too are bestowed with innumerable blessings and gifts. Against the background of today's readings, let us try to look at two important gifts that God offers upon each one of us. The first gift is a life of a firm foundation. In today's second reading, St. Peter personifies Jesus as a living stone. This stone, for those who believe in him, becomes a stone of firm foundation. But for those who do not believe, it becomes a stone that makes them stumble and a rock that makes them fall. In Matthew 7 verses from 24 to 27, Jesus talks about two kinds of foundations: a house built on rock and a house built on sand. When we believe in Jesus and deepen our relationship with him every day, we build the house of our life on the foundation of the solid rock that is Jesus. This foundation symbolizes emotional and spiritual securities Jesus offers. In other words, relationship with Jesus will remove all types of insecurities from our lives. It has to be kept in mind that many of our problems, such as loneliness, depression, unruly anger, cutthroat competition, greed, violence, etc., emerge from the seedbed of psychological and emotional insecurity. Relationship with Jesus can remove all these problems and all types of insecurities. Besides, it also can make us feel that we are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's own people. The second gift God offers is the clarity of perception. Dear friends, there is a close connection between our relationship with God and the way we perceive our life and especially our problems. Not all look at problems of their lives and their roots with the same degree of clarity. Many of us believe that we look at our problems as they are. No, the truth is that we look at the problems as we are. That is, it is our level of maturity that decides how clearly and cleverly we look at problems. In today's first reading, we see a problem that the early church faced. It was a problem of disunity. There was a possibility of a sharp division between the Hebrew-speaking Jewish Christians and the Greek-speaking Jewish Christians. However, how the apostles handled that potentially damaging situation is simply amazing and remarkable. The reason for such a wise decision was because they were rooted in their prayer and the Word of God. The apostles said, "We, for our part, will devote ourselves to prayer and to serving the Word." It is not an uncommon phenomenon that many of us, in the name of solving our problems, aggravate the intensity and depth of problems. It is mainly because our perception of problem is very shallow and superficial. We just look at some external aspects and try to deal with problems, but the root of problems may lie somewhere else. In other words, besides the problems we face, our perception of problems becomes another major problem. Stephen Covey, a very famous motivational speaker, says, "The way we see the problem is the problem." Dear friends, it is through deepening our relationship with Jesus that we will gain a clarity of perception about all aspects of life and its problems, and thus approach our life from the right angle. Let us end our reflection with the Gayatri mantra, a very famous prayer in the Indian tradition. O God, thou art the giver of life, remover of pain and sorrow, the bestower of happiness. O Creator of the universe, may we receive thy supreme, sin-destroying light. May thou guide our intellect in the right direction. Amen.